Sean, Richard Pochettino seems to think he's side with a better team. Do you agree? And either way, how satisfied is that with?
They're a very good team, without a shadow of a doubt. Better in some ways. They kept the ball. They've got very good players, technical players. We know that. They spent a fortune on players. He's a top manager, so I wouldn't dispute his opinion. What I would say is you've got to find ways of winning, and that's the biggest pleasing thing for me. We're finding different ways of winning. You've covered us. You've seen it yourself. There's games where we've dominated the chance count and won games. There's games when we haven't. We've won games. There's games we've defended very resolutely, like we had to today, and fight and work and do the ugly side of the game. That mixture is really important over a season's work, and never more so important than recently with the news and the points and all that sort of business. So to find different ways of winning is very pleasing. To find different ways of winning against what I think there'll be a top side again. Because they've got a top manager and they've got some very good players. So to find different ways of winning is very, very pleasing. And under all that is a very, very firm mentality that's growing all the time. And with our supporters, I mentioned it when I got it, I mentioned how powerful it be, that the alignment continues to grow. Of course, winning helps that. But I think the fans stayed resolute early season because I think, the true Toffees are out there seeing a side and going, no, they're playing well, We couldn't get a win. But everyone's going, how have you not won that? Well, most people I speak to, maybe they're just being generous because they meet me in real time.
What was your thought process at half time? Was Ashley Young just come off? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, Ganna. To cover a few things, I think it's important too. Ganna has been absolutely terrific lately. He's put so much in. He just looked tired. I told him that it wasn't a tactical thing, nothing to do with that. He just looked fatigued. Youngie very similar. He's got a niggly injury. We're hoping it's not serious. But, these guys are putting a big shift in. I've spoken endlessly to the group about squad mentality. I'm very pleased with that. Mathew coming in and players looking after themselves and staying on top of their performances in training, the ones who are not always playing regular. So many pleasing things behind that. Miko continues to improve and grow as a player. Jared and Tarky, really good relationship. Jordan, as he does top keeper. There's so many other things. Jimmy Garner, 2 days ill and coming out and giving that performance physically. His team play is awesome, I think. It's not just his ability, but his actual team ethic is absolutely outstanding. Look, there's so many good things, so many pleasing things. And Duke's been a credit to himself and a credit to the club, in my opinion, since I've got here.
I know the game's only just finished, but when you look back on this week, those 3 wins, 3 clean sheets, how do you reflect on that?
Just, the pleasing thing as a manager is when you're working consistently, because I can't ask for consistency from the team, which I do ask for. You've heard me talk about it ever since I got here. But you've got to be consistent yourself. And I think the way that I work, I think the way the staff work, we have a consistency. Wins, losses, ups and downs, 10-point deductions, all that. No, this is what we're doing. This is not change. This is what we're doing. This is our responsibility. This is our focus. This is what we're doing. So to get the players to understand that and take it on very clear-mindedly, it's very pleasing. The management's a funny industry. Everyone says, why aren't you doing that and why aren't you doing that? You've got to align everyone. Not an easy thing. So the gratitude I have is for them, accepting that this is it, accepting the workload, accepting what we try and give to them, and then delivering. So the players deserve the most amount of credit for me.
Paul?
Come on, Daz. So I've known him a long time, sorry. Please, that mic was worth it.
Pleased to see sort of the improvement in like the Toffee and the Garner and the Brown. How much that has to be your job because you've not got.
Well, I think when I finished as a player and I went into coaching, my first goal was to give the players something better than I thought I had. And I learned a lot from many coaches during my career. So I just thought, what could I add to them? Not me. I've had my time. What could I add to them? That has never lost me. Through all the ups and downs of being a manager, because obviously it's considerably different when you're a manager. You've got to win. But through all of that, I've never lost sight of, can we rub off on the players and improve them as well? And I think there's really clear signs of that. And it's different. It's a different kind of improvement. When I was in the youth team many moons ago, they're malleable. They're young kids and they want to learn, and you can offer them many things. Sometimes with the players when they get older, maybe just tactical nuances, maybe diet, maybe looking after yourself, maybe professionalism, maybe mentality. But there's still improvements. There's still ways that you can offer, another person in football a chance to improve. But I've said for years, you can only guide them. You can only guide their acceptance and their way of working to listen and to take it on. That's the most pleasing thing, because you can only offer. You know, the way the world is now, you can't. I used to get told you got to do this, you got to do that. It's not like that anymore. You can offer and say, right, this is what I think's good. Let's try and get a bit of rapport going. Let's get a bit of buy-in with each other, and let's try and develop as individuals, develop as a team. Sounds really easy. It's not, trust me. But we've got a group here since pre-season who have gone, right, okay, we're going to find a connection. And the group have been absolutely fantastic, and lots of work to do, by the way. Everyone forgets that. I don't.
Sean, what's Abdullah like to work with on a daily basis, and does his work ethic live off on his...
I thought he was tremendous since I've been in the building. I think, his work ethic is constant. I think 3 in a week don't bother him. He's like, yeah, okay, let's go. His mentality has been solid and firm, and his delivery, and he can find quality moments. So I've not, other than get him back in the team, I've not really overcoached him. I've allowed him to play freely, and I think he's enjoyed that. We have to give tactical understanding, nuances, but I've not sort of put massive demands on him. I certainly wasn't saying, right, you've got to go and score loads of goals, but I knew from his history he could score goals. And he's a player that I liked many moons ago when he was at Watford. So I've always, what it's like, is you sort of reference points from players. And when you work with them, you go, yeah, actually, you are what I thought you were going to be. And he's certainly one who was exactly that.
Players had continued doing this stuff on the pitch after the seduction. Is someone like Abdullah becoming the figurehead of that fight?
No, there's loads of figureheads. Tarky, the way he goes about it. Seamus, even though he's not in the side, I'd say he's still affecting the group and how he goes about it. No, it's not as simple as that. We want them all. I've spoken openly to him about leadership, and leadership's change. It's not just about someone, big voice and organising and all that sort of stuff. You can be a leader in different ways. Dwight can lead by the way he delivers, by the way his work ethic is. Duke's the same. Just his pure work ethic is a leadership style, because everyone looks and says, he is putting the miles on the clock, so I'll come with you. I'll come and help you out. These are all different leadership styles. But we're beginning to get a group who are taking it on. They're not waiting for each other. They're actually saying, right, let's take the next challenge on. And that is a powerful thing, especially when you've got quality. I still think we've got real quality in the squad as well.
Kevin?
Sean, if you had those points back, you'd be in the top half of the league.
Why are you saying that? It's been a really lovely afternoon. You have to remind me of where we would be.
All right, well, I'll give you a chance to accelerate. I'm asking, what would your team, what would Everton look like? What's possible for this team?
Well, it'd be what it is. It's a side that I felt, the first marker, and I asked endlessly about it at the end of last season, what do you see in the new season? I said, we've got to improve. The first marker is just to improve. Can you improve the individuals? Can you improve the team? But can you improve the output, as in points and wins? Well, yes, we've done all of that. And then some people came along and went, okay, well, we'll take a bit of that away, so you start again. So we went, okay, we will. That's, I can give you a million reasons, a million ups and downs, but, I often think the simplicity is genius. So I said to the players, right, this is done for now. This is done. This is where we're at. No excuses. This is a reality. So let's crack on. And they've taken it on. The one that got away was still Man U. I thought we were excellent against Man U. And yeah, we didn't get that one.
As a coach, you always seem to be under the cosh, battling relegation or whatever. It just seems to me, if you get a chance to be expansive and express, get a team to express the real Sean Dyche, what would it look like?
I don't know. One that wins. That's always been my obsession as a player and as a manager. I think you've noticed there's been some noise about why I do this and I do that, or I don't do this and I don't do that. I can't remember responding to it probably ever. So I don't know. I've lost sight of what the game's about, and that's to win. So if it starts with a winning mentality, then we've got a chance. So I don't know. That's what I'd hope. People look at a team and go, they'll give their lot to win. That's a powerful thing. Might be old-fashioned, but I'd say it's a powerful thing when you've got a group of players who are saying, we are going to give everything to win. That's a good thing to have.
Sean, Maurizio just said in here that he wants to spend more money to get a striker, get aggression in to help his team. I was wondering if your team are giving you that opposite reason to not spend maybe in January, and what you react to spending even more.
Yeah, I don't want to spend any money. Just keep giving us nothing. That'd be helpful. Really? It's always helpful if you've got money. But at this current time and during the summer, I tried to be fair and say, look, we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. That's what we're trying to do. Find a more balanced squad. I think we have done. Trying to get it to operate, there's clear signs of that. It's a constant work in progress. Back to your point, it's a constant work in progress. If things didn't go well for them games, trust me, the novelty of 10 points wears off very quickly and say, oh, we've got to make a change. That's the reality. They're the laws of the jungle when you're a football manager. I've been doing it a long time. I wasn't running around the pitch at the end, if you noticed. I know the next one's the most important one, and we've still got more than half a season's work in front of us. Yes, I enjoy it more than you think, but when I wake up tomorrow and I'm going, right, that one's the next most important thing, and that's next week.
Well,
Sean, first goal for Lewis Toffee. Now, please.
Do you know what? I was most pleased because there was just a really authentic reaction. I commended him afterwards about it. You know, everyone nowadays wants to do a dance. That nonsense. He's run over the corner, slid on his knees and went, have that. And then everyone went with him. Oh, seriously, that's when you're on something. Oh, why wouldn't you? I'd love to score a goal out. I don't express it in that way. I wouldn't who thinks they want to do a dance? I can't even work it out. I just go and enjoy the moment. And if you see the reaction from him and all of his teammates, everyone's just piling on. I love that. I love the authenticity of that. Seeing someone score a goal and that delight in their face and magic. Absolutely delighted for him. Couldn't be more delighted for him.
I mean, it's been a bit of a funny season for him because he's been on pretty well. He's played a lot of football, so what's he been like behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, there's the you have to wait. He's a young player. He's developing. He's learning. And that's the game. You have to be patient. My own son's a footballer. He's not getting his game, and I said that's being a professional footballer, son. So it's not that I give the players here what I give to my own. You know what I mean? So I tell them. So lads, I'm telling you stuff. I tell my own. So I think that's fair. I go, look, that's the demand. Keep working hard. Wait for your chance. Stay right. And he stayed right. And it's a very fine line today, putting Arnie on, putting him on, who fits the bill. Tough game, we're working, we're trying to dog it out, trying to see it through. I didn't put him on, trust me, and go, yeah, I'll go and ping one in the corner, mate. So even with subs and that, I get a question about subs all the time. I don't milk it when I get it right, and I'm not too when I get it wrong. It's very difficult putting subs on and when to put them on and all the different reasons. So, there's a lot to it. But no, back to the point. Anyway, I'm absolutely delighted for him. I'm delighted for the team, delighted for all of them. Delighted for the squad, because it's not just the team. There's a lot of people working very hard here who are not playing at the moment.
Just take a couple more, one from here.
Sean, is it too simplistic to say that point deduction has sort of galvanised everyone, brought the players?
Yeah, it is, yeah, because the reason I'll give is that I thought we were on something before all this. I thought we were playing well. I thought the performances were good. I thought the mentality was good. I thought the fans were with us anyway. It might have enhanced that bit. I think some of the fans might have gone, hang on a minute, cool, that's a blow. So to see that reaction has been very pleasing. But no, I think our performances have been good. I've been very pleased. Even the ones early season when we were questioned about not winning, I thought some of the performances were excellent. Arguably as good, if not better, than some of the recent performances. But as we just spoke about, you've got to win.
I think the word you've used most today is mentality. In getting this team together, was that the most important thing in saying, you're going to be my player? And maybe letting others go. But when you look around the Premier League at some of the big clubs who have got a lot of big players, but maybe haven't been put together with mentality in mind, do you see?
It's not.
You mentioned old school. Do you see mentality as being perhaps not as respected across the Premier League as it should be?
For me, it's not old school or new school. It's the right school for one. Within all that. It's not easy. You can't just recruit on mentality. You have to form a mentality. There was players who left here. We had no choice because of the contractual situation and the finances of the club. There's players we brought in who we wanted, who we thought could grow into the club, and the finances were right. And there's players here who we could develop further. And the biggest thing for me was trying to get a more balanced view of the squad. So that's what I had to do. That's part of the job. And knowing the parameters when I got here. They did change a little bit, it's fair to say, but working within it, no excuses. Right, what can we do rather than what we can't? So I was looking at what we could do, looking at the players we could get in, the ones that we thought could be effective, and then equally the ones we've got, and moulding that into a strong group. So that's part of the job. I always said, I've said it many times, managing the reality is what I really enjoy, even if the reality is not very good news. But at least I know it's reality. It's when the goalposts keep shifting, that's when it's really difficult for managers. So fortunately, I've had a straight alignment for this is the situation, this is where it's at, this is what you're going to have to manage. So I'm like, cool, yep, okay, let's crack on.
Okay, folks, thank you.
Cheers, everyone.